questions in one. Okay. My first question goes to Mr. Samson. Okay. My first question goes to Mr. Samson. I want to ask, at what point did you decide to go national? And what were the things involved in the transition? Do you have international support, government support, or investors? And is Bova going public anytime soon? And second question to you, sir, Mr. Shina. Let's say you are trying to sell you've identified the solution, and what you are trying to sell seems kind of people are willing to buy, but they don't want to buy at the price you are offering it, and it cannot go lesser than that. What can you do?
Thank you very much. So, our vision is to be a household name in the whole world. But we are looking at starting from Ibadan, then go on southwest and go on like that. So it's a program where we have been running for a while. So we decided to go national at the point when we got to where we believe we had saturated Ibadan, as it were, and some parts of the southwest. As to support, we didn't get any form of support from government or international or investors. We did organic growth, then we took loans as when necessary. Thank you.
Okay. Now, if the price is lower than what you can be profitable, then it's not a business. You have two options: junk it and think through of another problem you're trying to solve, or you do more research on how you can make it cheaper. I gave you an example of the Gary, right? If I have the idea of renewable energy at the very beginning, it will be cheaper. You understand what I'm saying? So you do more research, or you go to another problem that you are willing to solve. That's just it, or else the business will die. Thank you.
Thank you so much, speakers. One major issue with almost all kinds of business is risk. Okay, so for this business that you guys are familiar with, how do you identify your risk and how do you manage them?
Now, identifying risk starts from research, firstly. Number two, some people have gone ahead of you to have done that business. For example, when I wanted to start cassava, I wanted to do starch. For my research, I realized that 99% of companies that start from cassava to starch, they die in Nigeria. And I told myself, I'm not willing to take this risk now. Maybe if I'm retired, I have other source of income, I can go into this area properly. But for now, let me start where the risk is minimal and I can manage, despite the fact that I won't be there regularly. So you have to identify the risk, see if you can mitigate them, get mitigants, then you go ahead. If the risk is too much for you, you cannot manage, I'll tell you, excuse yourself.
Okay. I think I could just share from a tech perspective, right? I'm more focused on the tech industry. There's something called a MVP, a minimum viable product. And the reason why that concept was developed was so that you could understand what the market is saying about the product you're trying to launch. So instead of you going to put, hundreds of thousands or millions into developing a full software, you could just, use a Google form, a Google form, right, to try to capture whether people are even interested in what you're trying to do in the first place. Or you could use, for instance, Canva to make your designs, rather than you going to spend money on, subscribing to Adobe Suite and all of that. So if you can create the minimum viable product that shows people that this is what I'm trying to do, and then if people knock on your door and say, hey, we want that, then you have minimized your risk. Another way this is done is you could create a waiting list. So describe your product in very good detail. Then put it on, social media, and then create a waiting list. So if you see the number of people that join the waiting list, you can be sure that, oh yeah, there's a ready market. Another one is, like pre-orders. You can actually get people to pre-order what you're trying. For instance, you want to write a book, but you are not sure if the market is interested in the book. Design the cover page, make a mock-up. and then, tell people that pre-order, it's 5,000 naira. Then tell how many people actually pre-order. Then you can know if indeed it's viable. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, sirs, for the great insights. Okay, my question is directed to Mr. Shina. Yes, sir. I have a couple of questions here. The first one is, how did you go about the NAFDAC situation around the production of the carries? Yeah, and also, I've always imagined that, because I have lots of ideas, and some of them would require that I get some maybe companies outside Nigeria to run some things in it. So I want to ask, how did you get the contact of the branding company in China, or the printing company in China that did the packaging stuff, basically? Then did you, if you are able to get that contact, is there room for bargaining in they running that service for you? Thank you, sir.
Okay. First question, NAFDAC. Tough one. Now, NAFDAC took me about 1 year, but let me explain to you. You can go ahead without NAFDAC if, for example, you don't sell to supermarkets. So it doesn't stop you from selling. When you get your NAFDAC, you can now start selling to supermarkets. However, let me also discourage you from supermarkets if you are going to the kind of things I produce. Supermarket use another person's money. They build the shelf, you supply your products, right? They might even sell it twice your price. They'll say until they finish selling up until the last one before they pay you. Only a few have good integrity that in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they pay you. So your money is tied to them and you are stranded. You don't have liquidity. They use your liquidity. So that's that about NAFDAC. But our advice, build good relationship. That's what I've learned. Why did I travel to Ekiti? In the village where we are setting up our factory, I've known the Oba. I've gone to the NAFDAC office. I've known the woman in charge. We've been talking as if we are friends. So by you build that relationship, they will guide you. They will tell you, these are the things you come and check. You say, but I don't have enough money. They say, instead of you doing fence, you can do wire. They'll start giving you alternative, right? So you have to build good relationship first. It's very important. So they will guide you. They will tell you, like you said, minimum viable things you need to put in place for them to give you approval. So that's how you navigate NAFDAC better than the way I navigated it during my own time. On the China international contact, internet is your friend. I started from that place, researched it, even ITA. That's how I met their DGs online. We chatted, we did all of that, built familiarity. I've never been to China before in my life. But they produced for me. I've built interaction, right? I even had a Chinese friend that sometimes they find it difficult to communicate the way they want to tell you in English. They will put Chinese language, Mandarin in between. My Chinese friend will read, will even reply in Mandarin. That built relationship, we built trust. So till today, I moved from 5,000, I do 500,000. I've never been to China. Then you spoke about bargaining. I didn't understand that.
So I said, do they just give you a fixed price? Like, okay, you want to say in your case, like print, say 5,000?
Oh, no. What I said to them is this. If I'm doing 10,000, how much is it? 100,000. I will print in. The higher the price and the quantity, the lower the average price. So they taught me all of that. And colors are important. If you are doing 8 colors, the mold that they will buy will be more. The lesser the different colors, the lesser the quantity of mold you need. And they give me the price of mold per one. And if you got that mold and you think twice, everything you want, you must test it once. Because if you change anything, they have to buy additional mold and start from beginning. So with the mold I have now, this design can last me for 100 years. They'll just be reprinting for me. Cost of molding is out of it. So you can negotiate based on all of those things. They will tell you the implication of the many colors, single color, and all of that. So you can negotiate based on quantity, based on colors, based on number of molds that you need. Thank you.
Is it possible to just add something? I could just add something.
So, okay.
Yes.
You are lucky. You have to.
So I have come to understand the power of communities. And because increasingly people are liberal with information, right? So whenever, okay, for instance, we're building a Web3 product right now, like we're building something for the metaverse. And we were stuck at a point. But there was this Slack group I joined about last year. I joined the Slack group. I'd been silent on the group, just once in a while I just, respond. But I knew that we needed some international input, in building that product. So I just typed on the group, hello everybody, we're trying to build this project, but we are stuck at this point, at this point, at this point. Are there any people that could help? And before I knew it, my phone began to ring. People were reaching out. Hey, I can help you. People were reaching out. And the beautiful thing was that some of those that reached out, it was their materials we had studied for a long time to even understand that thing. And now they are willing to help, and it's without cost. So there are communities. Go online, go search Slack groups around or Telegram groups. You are going to most likely find, such communities. So you can easily ask those questions. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So you already picked up one of those things about communities. The first time I went to China to build a product, I went for a Chamber of Commerce. It was an Ibadan Chamber of Commerce program that they were doing in conjunction with the Canton Fair. Canton Fair is one of the largest fairs in the whole world. That was the first time I went there. And when I saw there, I saw design companies, how they make things. My own perspective shifted. We stopped buying a number of things. We just make them directly. We work with the designers. They make them according to how we want them, and we get them in. Your question about how you talk to them in China, I think your better bet to ask is how you clear it when it gets to Nigeria. You will have more problem in Nigeria than in China.
Thank you very much, sir. My question is related to what he just asked you. You, in the course of your discussion, you made mention about Nigerian factor. The industry you deal with has a lot of licenses. How do you combine your Christianity, Nigerian factor, bribe, and stuff in getting things done? Because, as a consultant, when you want to process, let's say a PSI, pioneer status, they will tell you, you need to give us something. And I know you are a pastor. You have a license that you've gotten. So how do you manage the two? How do we scale through? What approach have you been using? And you've been finding it easy? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we have a policy. As much as we can, we determine what we give you, and we give you for what is legal to do. We use this as a thank you, number one. Number two, we have a huge networking. I can tell you that I follow so many government officials and their transfers that you will not believe it. So if they move you from Ibadan to Yola, you are in my database. I get somebody in my Yola office to say, welcome, sir. How are you? My colleague in Ibadan say you treated them nice. So we carry that on. You'll be shocked at how many know each other in the civil service. So when I want to do something, I just ask, do you know this person? Do you know this person? They say, I know him now. We're in the same course somewhere. We're in the same ministry somewhere. And it reduces what you have to do. You understand? Number one. Number two, it took a lot of traction, but they now know that you do what is right. I can give you, like I said, I can tell you, I have an incident whereby after doing all kinds of things, when the rubber met the road, they came to me and said, look, we have been doing what is wrong, but our bosses are coming and they have to see what is right. So we'll use you as the standard for everybody. And I said, but they're not doing it now. They said, don't worry. It is you. You don't say anything. Just say yes, sir, and let our guy go, and we'll compensate you. But it will take a lot of while. These same people we fought I have licenses that did not come out for over 4 years that we fought. Bovas, NIPCO, we started putting gas in petrol stations in the whole of Nigeria. DPR had no license for it for almost 5 years, but they started getting it now. Now there are too many regulations that they are putting. And we are telling them that, look, the future is transitioning from petroleum products through gas to electricity. Now they have caught on, but still there are too many regulations holding people from doing a lot of things. So gradually you will break it, but you have to first of all make a track record. They have to know that you are willing to do what is right, even when it pains you. Then they will understand that, oh, okay, this guy is going to do what is right. Then gradually they will know you. Then the networking, nothing can beat the networking. Nothing can beat it. The moment this guy knows that, oh, you are able to talk to him anywhere, even if you don't know, you don't have a location where he is going, ask him, how was your trip? Ask her, did you arrive very well? They just transferred you now. How are you taking care of your family? You just move your family. Okay, I will go and send somebody to go and say hello to your parents or to your family in Ibadan or in Lagos. Those guys appreciate it so much that it beats them asking you for bribe or whatever it is. But you have to be very innovative about some of those things. And that's it. Thank you.
Let me just add. The second thing he said about relationship is the most important thing. They are first of all human before they are a regulator. So you must touch the human part of them. Do you truly care? If you care beyond even what you want, especially when you show care before you even need anything, when you need, they will remember that this person, they will believe that they owe you because this person has been there. They will be asking you, how can I help? And secondly, most people in the world, we are 6 persons away from the farthest person. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that will eventually know that person that you are looking for. So build relationship is the most important capital that you need in any business, in anything in life. Even as the way we are here today, if you are able to network with everybody here, believe you me, you've achieved a whole lot more than anybody that only listened to us and didn't build any relationship. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. So my first question is for Mr. Atilola. You talked a lot about branding for product-based business. So I wanted to ask for how would you advise a service-based business to go about branding and marketing? My second question is for Mr. Tokwe, sir. I would like your advice concerning negotiation. When you have a service-based business, you don't have a product, a physical product you are giving out. So how would you advise to go about negotiating with your customers and telling them this is the price I want and they want another price? How do you go about negotiation? Thank you, sir.
Mine is about branding service, right? Yes. And I'm going to go back to what the ED said initially. He said something about their pump, that they will guarantee their pump will give you what you are supposed to get. That's branding. That is what? Branding. What separates you from others? What's your unique selling proposition? He said something. We will never compromise on that. And then I tell you one major challenge in Nigeria when it comes to fuel, PMS, is the quality and the quantity. What I'm paying for, am I getting it? That's branding. Believe you me. As I live here today, he has won an evangelist. I will say, look, you want where to get the accurate fuel that you need, just close your eyes. I say it's Bovas. The way they fabricated their pumping machine, nobody, even their sales attendant, cannot influence it. He has marketed me by defining their brand. That's their brand. That's what they stand for. So that in service, your integrity matters. Your core values matters. When you live your core values, you've brand yourself. Banks, right? Banks are service-based institutions. But banks have different brands. If I ask today, what's GT known for? They say they are youthful brand. Yes or no? That's what they'll say. They are youthful brand. Zenith Technology, Sterling, Okay, not anymore. But exactly, so you see, right? Telling them, I said they are agric or they are digital. So it's based on what you consistently do that differentiates your brand in the industry. What you say is what you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So you see, negotiation is an art and a science. As a service-based industry, the first thing is make sure that they know you are able to deliver what they are asking for and more. That's the facts. Now, the heart of it is how you are able to leverage on what you know about the person and what they know about you. I see this a lot of times. When we want to buy things, they say, no, this thing is 10 naira, but because it's both, I'll sell it 20 naira. That's the heart of it. But I have done the science part of it, so I have found out, not as both as what they are selling. If it's 10 naira, you want to sell it 20 naira, I will never come to you again. So the negotiation is dead on arrival. But if you come to me and say it is 10 naira, then I can start to talk to you about it. So let them know you and know you that, it doesn't matter who comes to you. What matters most to you is that you are delivering what is the best at that time. And you look at different people. Now, it's not up to you how he said something about packaging for students and Banana Island. It's the same product. You understand? The packaging is what makes it different. And the price differential is the packaging that comes from it. That's all. But it won't now go because of that, say, banana one is 20,000 naira. There will be some people in that banana that will go back there and say, don't mind him, that's not how much he's selling. They will know, honestly. Don't forget that in Banana Island, apart from the Oga, the cooks are there too. You understand? We did a study once on who comes to buy our petrol. And we found out that in Nigeria, almost 70% of car owners are not the people that buy the petrol directly. They either use drivers, cousins, brothers, and all that. So when we are talking to people, we first of all talk to those guys before we go to the Oga. If you market to the Oga, he has no idea. All he wants is put petrol in my car. So when we are negotiating on anything, we first of all start with those guys. So that's the science of it. Understand the science part of it. You want to negotiate with someone, find out the facts, then find out who they are and how you can talk to them. I'm sure you can get the best of it. Thank you.
All right, sir. My question is about insurance. I feel there's not much information out there for insurance on SME small businesses. So can we get an advantage and disadvantages of insurance for small SME businesses? And secondly, for a business that is being serviced by a loan, how does insurance work on that? In case of any loss or disaster, does the insurance cover the loan for the bank and leaves the business owner hanging, or how does that work?
Okay, I'm not an insurance expert, but attempt to answer your question. Now, let me start with the second one. When there are issues, remember, when the bank took insurance, when they say you should pay for insurance, you are paying for the loan they've given to you. You are trying to insure the loan they give to you, that in case of anything happens beyond your control, that the insurance premium covers. That's what you insured. So when such thing happens, what the insurance company will pay with the outstanding parts of the loan that the insurance covers. So it's not for your business. For example, you can insure your business. If you have a shop, you need to take loan. You can insure that the goods against insurance, against fire, against theft, all of those things. When anything happens, the insurance company will compensate you, will reduce the impact of that loss on you. It's the goods in your shop that you insure. But when you take a loan, the insurance you are paying is for that loan. So there are two different things, right? I don't know if I've complicated. Yes. If it goes bad. Oh, if the loans goes bad, is that it? Now, There are different types of loan. Let's start from there. There's what we call asset finance. If it's an asset, yes, insurance covers it. Most times, when it's a personal loan, all of those loans, insurance covers it to an extent. Death, loss of job, or accident that made you disabled, or something that make, God forbid, your enemy disabled, right? We are in Nigeria, you have to be mindful. Right? Insurance covers all of that. But beyond that, insurance company will not pay for you are in business, the business is going on well, you refuse to pay. The bank has not done their own part of the job. There is obligation on the bank too to ensure that they've exhausted every means to collect their money from you. That's why the business is doing well. Nothing has happened to that business. Insurance will not pay. You know, there's these tiny lines, or what do they call? Dotted lines. They state all of those conditions there. I'm not an insurance expert, but I'm just trying to give you a few things I think I know. Other people that are better in it, please educate us.
I can't remember his name, but there was a young man that reached out to us on LinkedIn, and he's in tech space, but he's doing a lot of things on insurance. I think it's Insure Pass or something like that. He's trying to do a lot of things. I know that a lot of technical people trying to break in to do things in the insurance space for Nigeria. Also, let me say this. The opportunities that is available in the tech space for Nigeria now, it is exponential as we go on. So as much as you can, look for some of those things. Apart from the digital aspects, I was in a discussion, in a town and gown discussion with UI Center for Entrepreneurial Institute or something like that. And I told them that Amala will disappear from Nigeria very soon. And they said, why? And I said, because I don't see our sisters coming home or a brother coming and carrying something and doing like this after a while. So somebody needs to invent a machine like something that you can just come in there, pour the yam there, makes the amala, and it's easy to wash and get on there. So the same thing with insurance in Nigeria today. A lot of things is coming up. So check some of those spaces, some of those questions, especially for SMEs. Is a something sticking out? I'm sure something will come up from there.
Okay, I could just, off what you just said. There are a lot of new insurtech companies, like tech companies that are actually offering insurance, but the regulations are much, right? The regulations for them to be full-blown insurance companies are very much. So they could just be brokers, right? But I think there are two you can check out. There is one called Cassava with one S, C-A-S-A-V-A, and then there's another one called Curacell. So
what's the second one?
Curacell.
Can you spell it so that?
Yes, so Curacell is C-U-R-A-C-E-L, right? Cassava, C-A-S-A-V-A, C-U-R-A-C-E-L. So both of them. So there, and then there is a third one called Mascot in Lagos, Mascot Insurance. So they're all trying to actually, break the boundaries of the regulators so that they can offer comprehensive insurance for startups and SMEs. Yeah.
Now, I don't want us to miss this. The both earlier panelists, they are opening our eyes to opportunities where we can easily leverage digital. Insurance is one. There are several other problems that digital can solve. He has told us about Amala, right? They've spoken about insurance. There are several things that digital can solve. Is the fastest means that you can grow. And digital, then I add to it data. You can be a data analyst. You can be a digital marketer. But also you can be a developer. You don't need to be a graduate of computer science or software engineering for you to be a developer. Even children nowadays, from age 6, they start teaching them on how to be developers. So it's an opportunity. You can, even from the comfort of your home, you can learn on how to be a developer. is a new emerging opportunity all around the world. And you can see most of the monies raised in Nigeria last year came to tech space, digital space. A lot of money is looking forward to where they can put it in the tech space, in the digital space. And around the world, even in Africa, last year Nigeria led in terms of investment in the tech space. When you go to San Francisco today, there's a lot of money waiting for tech spaces that they want to invest on. Who knows if you can, if maybe you seated there might be the next person that will produce the unicorn in the tech space of tomorrow. Shine your eye. May God help us.
Okay, thank you, sir. I have a question as regarding this bribery issue, as it has to do with business. So I would give an example. So let's say you are supplying a product. Let's say you are a rep for a company. If you are starting up, you meet the owners of the business, and then they give you the opportunity to start your business. But along the line, you wouldn't be dealing with people. You'll be dealing with the staffs. And these staffs, when you are dealing with them, I understand that you are mentioning relationship and all the likes. But these people don't value that. So along the line, you want to supply your product. These people will want you to give them something to sustain the business that you are having with the boss. So how do you manage that? That is where bribery has to do. Because if you are having challenges with tipping these people, you might not be able to get to the boss to say that this is what is happening along the line. And this might be the end of your business relationship. Because when you don't, there are people who will give these people what they want. So, and if they realize over time that you are not bribing them, before you know it, you just realize that you are not supplying them. Because if the product is finished and you want to supply, these are the people who will tell you that this is what they need. So how do you undo bribery in this context?
Thank you very much. You see, our society itself has a problem of allowing and permitting us, anywhere you go, giving out something to people, whether it is their due or it's not their due. So you have to be aware of that very well. Now, when you make supplies, when we make supplies, we have a threshold that we do not break. We have walked away from today, I'm not the largest diesel supplier in Ibadan or your state or anywhere, because it is a messy market. You understand? So I don't do it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to tell you that this is my terms and condition. I'll do you an energy audit. If I finish your energy audit, and this has gotten lots of people into trouble, even my own people, it has gotten them into lots of trouble. We have discovered things that is unprintable and unspeakable in reputable organizations, even in churches. You understand? So we have a threshold. If you supply, if this is what we have, this is what we give you as thank you. If you don't want it as thank you, it's either you reject it or you receive it. If you reject it, if you are not the final determining factor, we'll still come back there. If you are the final determining factor, we don't go back there again. There's no two ways about it. You understand? So you have to. It's got, like I said earlier on, this is going to cause you pain. Don't shy away from it. However, if you are able to go through it, it's just like the cross before the crown. You will break through it. And after some time, people that want it will come. Right now, we have people, because of the price of diesel going sky high, we have companies that have run away before, now coming and say, please, we want you to sell. And say, no, your business, we can't go there, because when you supply 1 liter, the bribe they want is more, so we don't go there anymore. You understand? And you'll be shocked. The next time that you go, their CEO has come to my office before and said, look, I have sacked my entire product team because I want you to come and start supplying me. But like I said, we didn't arrive there today. It was a struggle. There are times that we didn't have anything, but gradually gradually, it's a journey of 40 years plus, we are able to get there. Thank you.
Good morning. My question goes to E.D. Bovas. So I want to ask, I heard that you guys do franchise, and if yes, how do you ensure strict policy and compliance to your filling stations? And the second is, you started Bovas around 1980 as a family business. Is there any failure? What have you done to sustain the business up to this moment? Because I feel that family business, there will a lot of disappointment from families. How do you do it and have such number of filling stations? And the third one is for Mr. Atilola. I remember during COVID-19 period, I visited a production farm in Isen to go and check a cassava, gari production plant. Yes, I remember. And when we got there, they told us, I did video, they told us that Chinese people actually came to that factory to fix things up, and it was so good. Their product was so good, and they have issue of marketing. So this is where I'm going. During the time you are doing this business at the early stage, okay, let me finish with the factory. Now, the factory, after like 2 years, EFCC closed the factory. And what we heard is that they collected fund from somebody that has issue with EFCC. The factory is still closed. And to me, I feel like it's not supposed to be like, because if you see the product that is coming from that place, it's better than any other grab I've seen before. And then now, the question is, you are in this business, how do you know the fund that is coming? Because now, maybe I'm somebody came and give me money. I cannot say, don't give me money. But I may not know what you are doing at the back to get this money. How do I do it to know that, oh, God, don't bring it to, I don't want problem. Thank you.
So let me go first. Let me take we do franchise. But because our conditions are stringent, we have not had too many people come. But we do franchise. Our conditions are, if you're going to do a franchise, you'll be there. If you are not there, we will put somebody there. We will train your people. We have models that we ask people to go through. But those conditions are not letting people come to us as much. Well, we still have people that come to us. So if you are able to satisfy it, no problem. But if you are unable to satisfy it, there's nothing we can do about it. Because we have realized that the last thing you said that you can't take, you have to take the money. You don't have to take the money, because you have to understand that a lot of businesses in Nigeria are not for profit. They are hiding money or they are doing something else. So be careful about it. So we are also careful about that. And number two, about being a family business, is about discipline. When I started working with my parents, we get to the petrol station at 5 a.m. It makes no difference whether you are their son or you are the attendant. I remember when we were growing up, my sister had to ask, please, is this my mother? Because then we make everything. We don't buy a lubo, we buy the, what's it called?
Cocoa.
The cocoa, and we pound it. My dad has a farm. We go and harvest the corn, and we peel it, and we dry it, and we grind it ourselves. So we went through all that. So, and all that is, they will tell you that, look, this is because we are building something. If it doesn't work after we've done all this, then we know God doesn't want it to work. But if it works, you'll be better for it. But we live in a place where a lot of people don't train their children that way anymore. They don't want to do some of those things. So you have to start from when, as they are growing up, you are growing up with them. They are learning, you are learning. It's not that they want this, so it doesn't work that way. So as they're growing up, if you are supposed to fit into this place in the business, you fit in. If you are not, you are out. You do something else. Thank you very much.
Okay, to funding. First, let me even say this. We had our highest sales during COVID-19. Highest sales since we started business during COVID-19. I'll tell you the bonuses that my staff got during COVID-19 was more than their salary. Some people got twice their salary. We were able to increase our staff strength by about 42. My sitting room in Lagos was converted to a packaging center for our gari. Now, let me now go to funding. It's not all funds you take. 3 years ago, I had 2 different people that wanted to invest 100 million naira each in my business? And I said no. Because I'm not comfortable with the funds. You must always think long term. Any decision you take today, what's the impact in 10 minutes? In 10 hours? In 10 days? In 10 weeks? In 10 years? Don't take what cannot sustain your business. You have to look long term. What you can't die for, don't live for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sirs. Please, a round of applause for our panelists. Thank you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time sharing with everyone. And thank you also for sitting